News tonight, Anambra State Governor Soludo tasked the Anambra on Adopt a School initiative. SEMA asked Ogbari communities to prepare for relocation over impending flood. ECOFEPA organizes regional town hall meeting in Abuja to scale up youth and women representation in ECOWAS member states as UK crowns King Charles III new British monarch. Hello, beautiful evening to you and welcome to Evening News on ABS Television. I am David Okwasale. The news in details. Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has tasked Ndị Anambra living outside the state on thinking home to build the much-desired livable and prosperous homeland. Governor Soludo gave the task during the commissioning of a 250-bed capacity female dormitory at Community High School, Akweze, in our Anocha Council area, built by Nzehubo Foundation. Government House correspondent Ejika Banafado report.
Renovated twin-story buildings, housing classroom blocks, equipped library, laboratories, ICT lab, among others. The foundation stone was also laid for the building of an all-purpose male dormitory. Governor Soludo revealed that 75% of Anambra's non-land assets reside outside the state, emphasizing that in order to build a livable and prosperous Anambra, the people must also start thinking home. While preaching the adopt a school model of development for the education sector, the governor revealed that indigents of other states may not respect Indian Anambra unless their homestead is livable and prosperous, explaining that it is the major force that drove him to run for the governorship. Governor Soludo appreciated the Nzeiku Abuo Foundation for their services to humanity by generously donating to the students' formative stage. He stated that education is the foundation which Chief Ikenna Okafor is laying, advising him not to get tired in trying to sow the seed, but rather begin to invest endowment funds for the foundation so that the legacy can be sustained.
You've done marvelously well, even forever. Fantastic. But I will encourage you to continue to do more. Makanika da buchineke in blessing you. Ika bukwanage in continuing to sow.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afamobidike, and the Transition Committee Chairman for Anota, Mr. Gerard Ozo, thanked the Governor for always remembering Akweze community and Anota Council area.
So, Mr. Governor, nothing else is just to thank you for the support to the Anota.
The progenitor of the foundation, Chief Okafor, stressed that he has special interest in education, saying that it is the best gift that can be bequeathed to the next generation.
I believe education is the best gift anybody can bequeath to the youth.
Donation of books and computers, as well as donation of security car to Anota Council area, featured at the event. The Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chimude, member representing Dunukofia, Njikoka, and Anota Federal Constituency, Chief Dozie Nwankwo, Principal Secretary to the Governor, Barrister Joaquin Aneto, Catholic Bishop of Oka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo, Traditional Ruler of Akweze, Igwe C.N. Okpala, among others, attended the event.
Anambra State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, has alerted communities in Ogbalu local government area of Anambra State to prepare to relocate to higher grounds to avert the effects of the 2023 impending flood. The Executive Secretary of SEMA, Sir Paul Odenibu, gave the advice while interacting with community stakeholders and religious organizations at the Council's headquarters at Atani ahead of the predicted 2023 deluge. Our correspondent, Chibuzo Bidike, has the details.
The interaction, SEMA shared flyers and educated the people, especially youth, on the need to care for the elderly, the physically challenged, the sick and pregnant women, among others, to ensure that no one is left out. Addressing the assembly, Sir Paul, who unveiled the recent report from NIMET, said that the 2023 flood will be heavier and more devastating, and as such, it becomes important for government to create awareness and educate the people and roll out plans to cushion the effects. He listed catchment pits, clearing of drainages, harvesting of farm produce before flooding, and healthy living as major steps to take to ensure that the effects of the flooding will not be as bad as previous years. The SEMA boss revealed that the state government is on top of its responsibilities in ensuring that the holding centers are well repositioned and habitable.
When it comes, the first thing we do is to get out of the flooding area and move to higher grounds where it is safe. Secondly, there are people who may not be able to move or to get out at that time. It becomes our responsibility to go and rescue them so that no life is lost. Every life is valued.
For Southeast Zonal Coordinator of NEMA, Mrs. Ngozi Echazu, it was expedient of members of riverine communities to start the preparation of evacuation to higher grounds, as consistent rainfall would increase the water levels of different rivers across the state. Responding, Igweke Chukwunwafili of Akili-Ogidi appreciated the agencies for alerting them and assured that communities in Owaru Council area will engage unnecessary measures to ensure that the message gets to the grassroots.
This education what I hear today, Naruna for a start, and I'll go for our so get cases here. But when we versiva, Nekwa, Nyabana Molanya, no better way to prepare than be prepared at every moment.
The member representing Anambra West State constituency in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Patrick Obalum Udoba, says only the dredging of rivers Niger and Omambala will end the perennial flooding threatening his constituents. Honorable Udoba stated this while speaking to newsmen on the devastating effects of flooding on the Anambra West and other parts of the state. The lawmaker noted that the perennial flooding has been the greatest enemy of his people over the years and wondered why the federal government has not garnered the political will to dredge the two rivers. He explained that the huge amount of money being spent annually by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, coupled with the funds some state governments spend in alleviating the sufferings of the riverine communities after every flood, is enough to dredge the rivers. The lawmaker, who is the House Committee Chairman on Transport, regretted the huge billions of naira the Anambra West lose annually as a result of the flood and called on the incoming president of Nigeria to take the issue of flood control seriously. According to Honorable Udoba, his constituents have spent fortunes in rebuilding their lost properties after flooding and described the inability of the federal government to do the needful by dredging rivers Niger and Omambala as unfair and marginalization of his people. The Anambra lawmaker stressed that apart from ensuring that constant flooding is put to rest, dredging of rivers Niger and Omambala will allow ships to move goods to an Ichamini port, thereby reducing the pressure at Apapa port. Anambra State High Court sitting in Awka has adjourned hearing in the case of a father accused of defiling his biological children aged 18 months, 4 years, and 8 years. A prosecution witness from the Child Protection Network, CPN, under the Anambra State Ministry of Women Affairs, Women and Social Welfare, had informed the court that a whistleblower at the Enugu community in Njikoka local government area of Anambra State in May 2021 brought an attention to the alleged incident leading to the arrest and detention of the 48-year-old Thomas Igbo from Igbo in Enugu State with the help of Enugu Community Vigilance Group and operatives of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC. The prosecution witness further informed the court that after one of the children confessed to have been defiled by their father, the 3 children were taken to Ntasi Center for Sexual Assault Cases at the General Hospital Enugu, and that the results of medical tests conducted at the hospital confirmed that were actually defiled. Presiding Judge, Honorable Justice Iko Ogu, after listening to the witness, adjourned the matter to 15 June and 18 July 2023 for cross-examination and continuation of trial. Meanwhile, the accused told our correspondent that he was wrongfully accused of defiling his children and detained for over a year and 7 months, and that after bail, his entire family, including the wife, has relocated back to their village in Enugu State because of his ordeal. The Executive Director, Creative Mind Center for Youth and Community Development, Ugochi Freeman, Director, Davina K Foundation, Johanna Rachel, and Olu Chukwuchukwu Enyem of Safeness Foundation are representing the Child Protection Network, CPN, in the case. Prosecution Counsel Awodun and Defense Counsel Chinedu Nwafo, with the brief of IB Onyeka, declined comment after the trial. A new family was created when former Miss Adeze Ogunze of Isu Ibi Oba community in Idemle South Council area walked down the aisle to tie the nuptial knot with her heartthrob Mr. Chibuzo Okoye of Isiapo village in Nise community, Oka South Council area. The groom, Mr. Okoye, is the son of the Bishop of Ihiala Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Professor Israel Okoye. Correspondent Amengine Osadebe reports that the ceremony attracted people from all walks of life.
The wedding ceremony, officiated by the Archbishop, Metropolitan and Primate Church of Nigeria, the Most Reverend Dr. Henry Ndokoba, was held at the All Saints Cathedral, Onitsha. In his sermon, Archbishop of Niger Province, the Most Reverend Alexander Ibezim, charged the new couple to give Jesus Christ a central position in every area of their family life by praying together so that their marriage will not lack its sweet wine.
Continue to love your wife will continue to surrender to you.
In his welcome speech, the Bishop on the Niger, Right Reverend Owen Nwokolo, welcomed the clergies and all that graced the occasion and prayed God to bless the new family. Speaking during reception, the chairman on the occasion, Chief Godwin Okeke, advised the couple to have love and understanding, respect for each other, and stay together in love as their parents. Later in an interview, the parents of the bride, Sir Edmond and Lady Nenna Ugunze, and that of the groom, Bishop Israel and Dr. Mrs. Faith Okoye, expressed gratitude to God for his benevolence upon them and their children, saying that it is the grace of God upon them that manifested in their children, and prayed God to bless their marriage.
The grace of God manifested today. We're happy about that. And we believe that what God has started, He will complete.
The Bishop of Mbamli Diocese, Right Reverend Obiora Uzochukwu, the royal father of the day, who is also the traditional ruler of Umueri, Igwe Ben Emeka, and the managing director and chief executive officer of ABS, Sir Chido Obidiegu, advised the new couple to always pray together, make sacrifices for each other, and have the spirit of forgiveness whenever they have issues.
Being sorry and then forgiving. That is the thing that keeps marriage.
Responding, the new couple, Mr. Chibuzo and Mrs. Adeze Okoye, expressed gratitude to God for a dream come true, describing the day as a blessed one for them, while promising to love, adore, and respect each other. High points of the event were exchange of marital vows and rings, presentation of Bible to the new couple by Most Reverend Ndokoba, cutting of wedding cake and dance by the couple, while presentation of household property by the parents of the bride added color to the event. From All Saints Cathedral, Onitsha, Emengine Osadebe, ABS News.
In a bid to scale up women and youth representation in the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association, ECOFEPA, is organizing a two-day regional town hall meeting tagged Stimulating Regional Dynamics for Mentoring the Next Generation of Decision Makers in Abuja. The meeting had in attendance 300 participants drawn from women and youth networks from ECOWAS sub-region. It is expected to improve the communication and support link between ECOFEPA and participating women and youth networks, reduce skill gaps through active participation of women and youth capacity building, boost self-confidence of participants, increase involvement of women and youth in politics, and set the stage for the establishment of sustained engagement with political young leaders so as to develop a roadmap that will stimulate a national dynamic for mentorship of youth for young leaders. Princess Ekwi Ajde tells us more.
Speakers at the opening ceremony harped on the need to nurture, build, and support businesses or political ambitions that will spur women and youth to action. Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Dr. C.D. Tunis, while declaring the meeting open, said the town hall meeting is an opportunity for constituents to have a face-to-face interaction with their representatives and table their concerns for scaling up social inclusion for citizens. He expressed joy that the meeting is strategically aligned with the current ECOWAS Vision 2050, which places more emphasis on women and youth development in the sub-region and would address some of the issues that have contributed to gender inequalities in the region, irrespective of the progress made by most countries regarding women's participation in the economic and social sectors. According to the speaker, the ECOWAS Parliament, under his watch, has recognized the special role of women and youths as actors, agents, and beneficiaries of development, and as such, made concrete commitments and taken tangible actions to ensure the integration of the gender dimension in all planned actions and activities of the Parliament, including policies and programs.
On behalf of the Bureau and members of the ECOWAS Parliament, thank His Excellency the President of the ECOWAS Commission for his invaluable support to the ECOWAS Parliament and for making this facility available to us.
In her welcome speech, the president of ECOFEPA, Honorable Waraye Sarr, called on civil society organizations across member states to mainstream youth activities into their projects to promote women and youth participation in politics. She said achieving the 30% affirmative action on women representation requires more efforts by all stakeholders, noting that CSOs have greater roles to play to ensure success in the struggle.
I wish to invite the representatives of the civil society organizations and development partners to be involved in youth activities in order to define programs and policies that can meet the collective needs of the latter so as to calm internal tensions within the sub-region.
Others who spoke, including the country representative UN Women, Beatrice Ayong, a former governor of Abia State and chief whip of the Senate, Senator Ojozo Carlo, represented by his chief of staff, Emeka Nwala, regional chairman, West Africa Youth Assembly, Emmanuel Cha, among others, called for mentorship for the West African women and youths for faster development in the region. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
History was made today as Britain's King Charles III was crowned in a once-in-a-generation royal event witnessed by hundreds of high-profile guests inside Westminster Abbey, as well as tens of thousands of well-wishers who gathered in central London despite the rains. In the most significant moment of the coronation service, Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, placed the 360-year-old St. Edward's crown on Charles' head. The spiritual leader of the Anglican Church then declared, "God save the King." While Charles became king on the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, in September last year, the coronation was the formal crowning of the monarch and was a profoundly religious affair, reflecting the fact that aside from being head of state of the United Kingdom and 14 other countries, Charles is also the supreme governor of the Church of England. The intricate service lasted just over 2 hours, about an hour shorter than Elizabeth II's coronation in 1953, and followed a traditional template that has stayed much the same for more than 1,000 years. The king took the coronation oath and became the first monarch to pray aloud during his coronation. In his prayer, he asked to be a blessing to people of every faith and convictions. In the latest national rankings released by the Nigerian Tennis Federation, Uche Oparoji from Imo State is Nigeria's #1 male player with a total of 485 cumulative points going into the national hard-court swing. Oparoji, who won the Dala Rain Oil national events last season, sits atop the national rankings for the first time since he burst onto the national scene with exceptional performances. The Southpaw player goes into this week as the undisputed #1 star and the player to beat as the national competitions serve off in Abuja. Beaten at his heels is Henry Aseye, ranked second with a total of 470 points. On the women's side, Love Edwards returns to the summit of the rankings after falling off for a while due to some poor results from different competitions. She sits comfortably atop the ranking table with 960 points, while her closest rival, Ayebusi Anu, is almost 200 points lower. The former US-based youngster will be the signage of all eyes when the tournament starts off this week in Abuja. And that's the news this evening. Thank you for joining us. But remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka or on our Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, hear the main points again. We told you that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has tasked Ndi Anambra to adopt the School for Initiative as SEMA asked Ogbaru communities to prepare for relocation as 2023 impending flood nears. We also told you that ECOFEPA has organized a regional town hall meeting in Abuja to increase the representation of women and youth in the sub-region. We also told you that UK has crowned King Charles III as new British monarch. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the news this evening. Thanks for joining us. I am David Obokwasele.